Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, chapter 18, verse 46. Bhagwan Krishna in the last verse said that one can attain perfection by doing his job devotedly. You have to do your job devotedly, perfectly. Then you can attain perfection. Question is how? That is the question. Immediately it will come into our minds. Bhagavan is going to explain that in the following verse. Verse 46. Yada pravrittirbhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindadi manavagam. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, Yadaha means from whom. Pravritti means creation or coming into being. Yada refers to the cause, Ishvara, from whom the entire creation, consisting of all these living beings and elements, the bhutas, came into existence. Yada pravrittir bhutana. Swamiji puts a question here and answers it. Maybe this question may not arise in our minds, but these are all, at least a few may get it. If living beings are born, that is, jivas are born, then they have a beginning, they have a end. But if jiva is identical with Ishvara, who is beginningless, tattvam asi, how can the jiva be born? That is the question. There is no possibility of beginningless jiva, that is Ishvara, being born. Swamiji says this is true. But the fact that jiva is beginningless and is identical with Ishvara is something to be discovered by oneself. Till such time, the non-difference is recognized. Till you recognize the non-difference, the seeming difference will continue. Jiva is identical with Ishvara, there is no doubt. But till the time we realize ourselves, the difference will continue. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, there is no birth for Jiva. It is purely Mithya, a superimposition on Atma due to ignorance. What is created is physical body, mind and sense complex. The basic five elements, namely space, air, water, fire and earth, these are created. Then the question is whether Ishvara is efficient cause or is a material cause. That is the question. The cause for creation can be either nimitta karana, that is efficient cause, or upadana karana, that is material cause. If these elements are created by efficient cause, then that cause will be different from what is created. That is, Ishvara will be different from the five elements of this world. What is created is these five elements. Ishvara is different, is an efficient cause, and these five elements are material cause, they are different. Swami Dayananda Saraswati gives the example of a donut and a donut maker. You can eat the donut without eating the donut maker. That is the difference. One is donut, the creator is donut maker, Bhagavan or Ishvara. Swami Dayananda Saraswati puts a question. If Ishvara is a donut maker and the world is donut, which includes space and time, then where will Ishvara be? Where will he be? The answer could be he will be sitting in heaven. But heaven is also a place within space. So if Ishvara is only efficient cause, then this problem cannot be solved. Ishvara is not only efficient cause, but he is also the material cause. He is not only the creator, but he is also the creation. The words yena sarvam idam tatam means by whom all this is pervaded, from whom this entire creation made of these elements have come. The same is pervaded by that one who created it. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says that an argument can be raised that it is like the sun which pervades the earth. Sun is different, earth is different. Sunlight pervades the earth. So that is the argument. So both are different. Ishvara is different and the material cause is different. The Lord sitting in heaven pervades everything with his grace. Swamiji says, then this will go against the sentences in Upanishads. Upanishad sentences are very, very clear. Tattvam asi. Therefore, Ishvara is not only the efficient cause, but also the material cause. Then Swami Dayananda Saraswati takes up what is the truth of creation. Brahman is defined as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahman is also the material cause. When we analyze creation, we will find there is nothing other than Brahman here. Everything is Brahman. Everything just reduces until all that we are left with is mere words. They keep disappearing too. When the object is gone, the name is also gone. Only Sattvastu, that is Brahman, remains. That is most important. Swamiji gives the following example. There was a pot. Pot breaks and disappears. All that is left is only clay. Clay also disappears. It will become pieces, minute pieces. Only atoms alone remain. They become the truth until they are analyzed. Things keep on disappearing like this. This is the greatest magic of this world. When the pot as an object disappears, the name also disappears because the particular object ended up with the form of a name. Things just keep on disappearing. That is the truth of creation. Whoever was there yesterday, today they are not here. They are all disappeared. Check. Things keep on disappearing. That is the truth of creation. For such a creation, what is required is some kind of cause to account for it. That cause is the power inherent in Brahman. It is called as Maya. Brahman with Maya is Ishvara with reference to creation. He is both the efficient cause and material cause. From the standpoint of his knowledge and power, he is called efficient cause. From the standpoint of his Maya Upati, he is called material cause. Swamiji gives the example of a spider. Spider is both the efficient cause and material cause. Spider intelligently spins its web. It spins out the material from its own gland. It is not taking out from somewhere. From its own gland it is coming. So, Swamiji says, Ishvara alone is in the form of Jagat. Ishvara pervades everything. Ishvara did not create the world first and then perverts it. There are no two things. Can we say pot was first created and then pervaded by clay? That will be stupidity. Without clay, you cannot make the pot. Similarly, the truth is, creation itself is Ishvara, and without Ishvara, there is no creation at all. Then how to invoke this Ishvara? That is the question. Swamiji gives a wonderful example here. Wonderful example. These are all things to be enjoyed. Suppose I am sleeping near you on a bed, let us assume. I came to your house, I am sleeping. And you want to wake me up. So what do you do first? First you call me by my name. Hey Radhakrishnan, hey Radhakrishnan. No, I am not getting up. So then you touch any part of my body, maybe my leg, maybe my hands, maybe my head or my ears. Then immediately I wake up. My entire body is pervaded by consciousness. That is why when you touch any part of my body, immediately I get up. Whichever part of my body you touch, I get up. Then, so similarly, in the same manner, Lord Vishnu pervades the entire world. The picture of Lord Vishnu lying on Adisesha, the original spring mattress for Bhagwan, it depicts this only. The only difference is we sleep, whereas Bhagwan Vishnu relaxes. Bhagwan Vishnu pervades everything. He is Sarva Vyapaka. He is supposed to keep the creation going. He has to keep the air blowing, fire hot, etc. And everything should be as it should be. For each and everything we do, there is a result. It requires that all laws must be operating properly. How does Bhagavan Vishnu do this huge job without lifting a single finger of him or without even batting his eyelid? This is absolute power and is illustrated by showing Bhagavan Vishnu lying on Adisesha, the symbol of power, Shakti. By his mere presence, everything takes place. He is the one whom we are invoking. The whole body wakes up when I touch any part of your body. The whole creation is pervaded by him. That is the point. That is why we have variety of forms of worship. Agni, Vayu, Prithvi, any god you pray, you are invoking Bhagavan Vishnu only. The so-called inert rock is sustained by Ishvara, like the inert body is sustained by consciousness. The whole creation, which we divide into inert and sentient, is all Ishvara. And therefore, any particular form becomes a form in which we can invoke Bhagavan. That is the point. Not only the creation, but the laws are also not separate from Ishvara. Swamiji says, not only the creation is not separate, but also the various laws, whether it is known, whether it is unknown, they are also not separate from Ishvara. Swamiji says, every invisible law whose result you see is pervaded by Ishvara. In fact, the law itself is Ishvara. For example, we don't see the law of gravitation. But when you see the objects falling, then we understand that there is a force which is not visible to us, though its effects are visible. Any force whose effects are visible to us should be treated as Ishvara. Then there are man-made laws and there are certain universal laws. I can earn money legitimately or by robbing. What exactly is the means to follow? There is a man-made law which says I should not rob, I should not steal. This conforms to the law of Ishvara. If there is something common, some common value structure that is identical for you and for me, unknown to both of us, without having to be taught, then it is universal law. The fact that is inherently known without being told is very important element in this. Nobody teaches universal law. Even a monkey knows. The monkey, after it is born, it knows. It holds on to the mother because it knows if it lifts its hands, it will fall on the earth and will get hurt. Who taught that monkey? Universal law. It knows automatically. If I have to be educated about a law or a principle, then it is not universal. It is a man-made law. There is certain order which as human beings we all commonly sense. That order is an intrinsic part of creation which we call dharma and also the law of karma. This law is connected to our will because we have a will, this capacity to choose, that is to be governed by some law, and that law is called dharma. If the choice I make is wrong, naturally I have to pay for it. The law of karma makes sure of it. Cause and effect policy. Hindu philosophy is completely based on cause and effect. If you do this thing, either tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next year, or definitely in the next birth, or in one of your births, you have to enjoy or suffer for that. Cause and effect. So the law of karma makes sure of it. If I keep my finger on fire, then definitely the effect will be there. Your finger will be burnt. Then you cannot blame the fire. With reference to universal values, we can never plead ignorance. All common sense values are the fabric of dharma, like I want to survive. I do not want to be hurt by anyone. All these things, you can take a number of things. Our physical, physiological, and psychological are all governed by set of laws. Similarly, the exercise of free will is also governed by some laws. And those laws are called as laws of dharma, which are part of creation. Therefore, the conclusion is dharma is also Ishvara. This being so, when I am called upon to perform an action at a given time and place, there is something to be done which is appropriate at that time. If you do not do that thing which is appropriate, and if you do something else, whatever it is, everything else, that will become inappropriate. That action that is appropriate at that time is Ishvara. It is Ishvara's creation. Like a square peg cannot get into a round hole, nothing else fits there. It is the law of Ishvara. If I find only one course of action that is appropriate in a given situation and no other, I can be sure that it is Ishvara. Therefore, the appropriate action, that is duty, itself is Ishvara, and because it fits well with the dharma, dharma is Ishvara. Now, after saying everything, Swami Dayananda Saraswati comes to the concluding part. Doing one's duty is worshipping Ishvara. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, by doing one's own karma, swakarma, that is what is appropriate at a given time and place, one is actually worshipping Ishvara. Here, the things we normally identify with worship, like offering flowers, Om Sumugaya Namaha, Om Buddhaya Namaha, whatever it is we are doing, offering flowers, they are not called as archana. But conformity to all the various duties and dispositions of each of the four classes is called as archana. Whenever one does what is appropriate, that then he connects himself with Ishvara. That is why there is so much of satisfaction and joy in such actions. If one does what is not appropriate, neither he is happy nor he makes others happy. If there is happiness in performing an appropriate action, then one must know that he is connecting himself with Ishvara. The law of karma, the law of dharma, and the action all become one and the same. I repeat, the law of karma, the law of dharma, and the action, they all become one and the same. There is harmony between the law of dharma and the actions that gives a sense of peace because of release from the hold of raga dveshas. If this is practiced daily, day after day, throughout your life, then raga dveshas, they all fall apart. All your likes and dislikes, that will go away. Only non-binding raga dveshas will remain. And that will make a person a unique individual. Once likes and dislikes are non-binding, that only remains. One gains antakarana shuddhi. That person can gain knowledge that completely frees him from all his karmas. If a person understands that performing duties, his duties, is worshipping of Ishvara, he gains success. First, he gains antakarana shuddhi. Later on, he gains siddhi, which is moksha or knowledge. Doing one's duty with proper attitude is worship of Ishvara. Generally, worship is considered to be physical, oral, or mental. But according to Shastra, if you do any karma that is in conformity with dharma, which is not separate from Ishvara, because if somebody says dharma is separate, Ishvara is separate, then he is a fool. So dharma and Ishvara, they are not separate. If you do any karma that is in conformity with dharma, you are connected to Ishvara. This makes you a karma yogi. And one point is, you must recognize dharma as Ishvara. To be a karma yogi, one must necessarily recognize dharma as Ishvara. From whom comes this creation of all beings and elements? By whom it is all is pervaded? By worshipping him through one's own duty, one gains success. That is what Bhagavan says in this verse. Every time you conform to dharma, there is worship. Performing this worship, a person gains success first in terms of antakarana suddhi, and then later on he gains the knowledge of Atma. That is what Swami Dayananda Saraswati says. Swami Dayananda Saraswati has beautifully brought it in such a manner. What is creation? Who is the creator? Are they different? What is material cause? What is efficient cause? Like a spider. Spider is the creator, and the web is also created out of the spider. So then he brings it to the notice, the universal laws, dharma. One has to follow the dharma. Then he says, by doing your own duty, whatever is your duty, wholeheartedly, devotedly by doing his duty, you are worshipping Bhagavan himself, Ishvara himself. Because dharma is not separate, Ishvara is not different. Dharma and Ishvara one and the same. Your dharma, if you do, actually you are worshipping Ishvara. That is what I understand. Verse 46. Yada pravritir bhutanam yena sarvamitam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcham siddhim vindadi manavagam. Swami Chinmayanandaji's explanation we will see tomorrow. Harihom Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Narayana 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 Narayana